big wave legend, also a standout on the CT. Watching both these surfers for a very long time now. They haven't even peaked yet in their career, and they're going to kick off, one of them with the yellow jersey, after this final.
These were the two women that were absolutely in form last year. They were the ones battling it out on the rankings as we look to see a start here from Gabriela Bryan.
Gabriela Bryan wants to lay down that rail and that lost surfboard. She will start off with a top turn sweep into the pocket. Punches out the lip line there. Already two different types of turns, and lets go of all of that power on the third decision.
Win here would mean so much as we look to the replay of Gabby Bryan's first wave here. So, you know, getting started and looking so good. This last turn in particular, I loved. She's just pushed so hard, really released the fin. She's got that turn on lock.
Ended up losing to Caroline Marks on that finals day at Cloudbreak. And Molly was able to finish with the world title, going to the third and deciding title match. Here she goes out in front here, setting up her first carve of the final. Putting a little bit more into it on the second move. She's got some room for the finish. She will just try to force the fins out, ends up underwater.
Yeah, so this one, Molly decided to pull the trigger. And a bit of a slower paced wave for sure, so she opts to go for a couple of carves. And I think, you know, the thinking is, okay, I've only done a couple of cards. Let's push super hard here, really try and release the tail.
And look where we are in 2026. Here we go. Gabriela Bryan. All setup work. Now going down into her bottom turn. Throws some water and then quickly gets to the end section to close it out.
Even as the world champ, to have a step back and have that perspective sort of speaks volumes, and he knew he had to bring something pretty special, and he did.
Molly Picklum is ready for a lead change. She needs an 8.5 or better. Nice start in that slopey part of the wave. Throws the carve. Now their top turn. It's going to kind of lunge a little bit in front of her and takes away a third and finishing maneuver.
Look, well, let's break down this one. So kind of, you know, goes for this beautiful carving maneuver. It feels like to me the waves that she's kind of been choosing have had a bit of a slower pace to them. I feel like, and then it's slower, but then she kind of got caught here and it was a bit foamy. All these, Gabby, here we go. This happened in the break. So Gabriela used her priority and just a quick in and out.
Gabby Bryan representing the island of Kauai, spending many, many winters on the North Shore of Oahu throughout her lifetime. And now Molly Picklum is stepping into a nice gear here on this running wall that's stretching out in front of her section. Just delays the bottom turn for a moment and she strikes. Nice open face wall. She hooks it but gets stuck.
You know, she takes off on this one and you can see it. She's highlining, right? This wave though is, she's just trying to wait and pick her moment. Like sort of really, you know, where can I place this turn? Is this wave going to give me a bowl? It kind of does for that one section, but it just pushes too wide of the reef. You can see it doesn't have that beautiful traditional.
Gabby Bryan with priority. Looking to better a 5.17 here. Patience till she gets to that section and throws a nice clean off the top. Belting the finish with everything she had and the tail blow. That was vicious.
And this turn, and it was so evident on this wave. You know, we do get to see one of those big, you know, kind of power gouges here, but you cannot. This turn here is undeniable. The aggression that she hits that with, I mean, and just how confidently she's able to ride out of that section. I mean, I feel sorry for this wave. I mean, she is really hitting it so hard. I mean, this poor end section, I mean, it just absolutely cops it. Look at that. Those fins just absolutely sliced their way through this wave. I mean, that is, for two turns, this is going to go pretty high.
Love that finishing move. Kaipo had that. She will hold back. It will be Gabriela Bryan with some room on the open face. Quickly throws down the cutty. Whitewater feathering off the lip. She crushes it. She emerges out in front and hits the end section.
Combination situation. Molly was too deep for this. She actually had priority, and Gabriela just sitting that little bit wider, and she was like, no, thanks, I'll go. And, you know, tags off a couple of moments here. Bit of a bigger set wave too, and of course a big finish. So, yeah, she is just absolutely leaning into it and really, really feeling it. So, look, I'm pretty stoked for it because obviously it means a lot. This is one of the most iconic trophies.
Peaking in the quarters in the past, finally breaking that and getting to the semifinals. Molly Picklum's already giving Gabriela Bryan a salute as she will S her way into the beach. Your world champ will now be number 2 in the world heading into Western Australia. You just look back to the last 13 appearances for Gabby in a CT contest and now winning 4 big events on tour. But now in a position at Bells that you always expected her to do well here. Peaking in the quarters in the past, finally breaking that and getting to the semifinals. Molly Picklum's already giving Gabriela Bryan a salute as she will S her way into the beach. Your world champ will now be number 2 in the world heading into Western Australia. And now a moment that Gabriela Bryan will never forget. She certainly brought the power and left her mark in stone. Gabriela Bryan, the bell is yours.
This is such a cool moment for her. I'm stoked. I mean, you think about her surfing, it's kind of inevitable. It was only a matter of time before she got to ring that bell, and it's going to happen very shortly.
Bringing it to Hawaii, which has happened a few times with Carissa Moore right there, who is there to support Gabby Bryan after she got knocked out of the event. Now we get to hear the champion talk about it as we send it to Kaipo.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Choo-hoo, you're going to ring the bell. Tell me your feelings right now.
I don't even know. I can't even believe I get to ring the bell. I mean, it's kind of an event I obviously always wanted to win, but I somehow have never gotten better than a quarter. But man, I get to ring it. It's insane.
That is insane. And what about like yellow? You got a wardrobe change going into stop number 2, the Western Australia Margaret River Pro, being in yellow. Talk about that at an event that you've had a lot of success at.
Yeah, I obviously love Western Australia and Margaret River, and back in yellow comes, yeah, I'm excited. I was in yellow there last year, and it's obviously such a long year. It's only the first event, but kind of a really good start, I think.
Great start. You had a breakthrough year last year, and you're continuing that big momentum into 2026. Can 2026 be your year?
I'm going to try to make it my year, that's for sure, but no, I just insane off season. I'm more fired up than ever just to go win heats and do some really good surfing and show the world, like, I don't know, just give it everything you got for every turn, and yeah, I just love surfing.
Congratulations, champ. Another choo for Gabby Bryan.
Well done. Thank you so much, Kaipo. Gabriela Bryan, your champion here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsoy. And it all makes sense. Everything's right in the world. Power never goes out of style. A deserving winner round after round. Unquestionable talent, unquestionable power. She is just setting the mark in big combinations as well. And now extending her wins over Molly. You know, that's a big one in these little rivalries that we have that start little and then turn huge. It could be these two at the Pipe Masters going for the all-time goal this year. And now it's 5-1 in Gabby's favor in one-on-one heats.
Oh, it's absolutely massive. I mean, you brought this up before, Joe, but it's one thing to win a world title, but another thing to come back on the first event of the season. And still, you know, hats off to Molly for putting in such a good performance and making the final.
These two were tied with 4 CT wins apiece before this final started. Now Gabby breaks that tie. That's her 5th championship tour event win. Her first at Bells Beach. And now that blue jersey will change colors, turning bright yellow. She'll be world number 1 on the championship tour and world number 1 leading the GWM Aussie treble. Coming up next, it is an all Goofy Foot final for the men, all Brazilian. It features the reigning world champ Iago Dora and Miguel Pupo. You are looking at the happiest person on the beach at the moment. Big hugs are going to happen all the way up the stairs. Carissa and Gabby Bryan celebrating the moment. Your new world number 1 and your new champion of the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, presented by Bonsoy. Gabriela Bryan has a new class of power and talent that she brings to the top 24 in the world.
Are we ready? Ready, Gabby?
Carissa. And looks like Gian on the chair. Matt Biolis and the crew, like Gian, are going to be very happy to take all those points in the Surfboard Empire CT Shaper Rankings presented by Vea. And sometimes the caddies and coaches and friends kind of get excused from having to chair down at Winky, depending on tides and rock structures. That is really a lot of commitment to the tradition from Riss and Gian for the assignment here. Joe Turpel now in the booth with Richie Lovett for the call here. And Rich, that was an absolute masterclass. What an incredible moment for Gabby Bryan.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. And, you know, it's kind of obvious looking at it now. You go, of course she won the event. And of course I should have had her as my you know, fantasy surfer double whammy, you know, power pick. And I'm sure a lot of people did. But, you know, a worthy champion, undeniable. She is the most powerful surfer on the women's side of the draw on the women's tour. And, yeah, it's dangerous because her going into Margaret River now, where she's, you know, won before and she's incredibly strong, she's already eyeing off a world title, and we're only at event number 1.
I had her as my power surfer. I mean, my team did get crushed, but hey, you know, that was a great moment.